Good evening, friends. And you are watching Weekend at 5 with me, Navdeep Kaur Marwa. Wishing you all a very happy Valentine's Day today. To begin with, we have some top headlines. The first one is COVID 19 related. Unfortunately, there have been 981 new community cases of COVID 19 in New Zealand today. There have been 25 cases in MIQ, and around 39 people are in hospital as per the Ministry of Health's data today. Moving on, another political news today. Auckland's Mayor Phil Goff has announced his retirement from politics. Goff will be stepping down at the end of this term. Moving on, food prices have the biggest annual rise in this decade. Figures from Stats NZ has revealed that the food prices in January this year were 5.9% higher than they were in the same month a year ago. A cause to worry with inflation is on its way and might be increasing in months and in the years to come. Now, moving on to our interview section, we all know that the minimum wage has been increased to 21.20. It was announced that from April 1st, the minimum wage, which is currently at 20, will increase for $1.20 and will be $21.20. To talk more on this and its implication, we have Sunny Kaushal, chairman of Dairies and Business Owner Group NZ, to talk about it. Welcome to the show, Sunny.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, Sunny. How are you?
Good, good. Happy Valentine's Day to all your listeners.
Thank you so much. Sunny, to begin with, Friday we saw the government has announced that the minimum wage would increase to 21.20, which was earlier $20. As somebody who has been in the industry and retail sector for long, how do you see this news?
Look, Navdeep, most of the businesses, they are not against the principle of raising the minimum wage, provided it is progressively increased over the time. But the problem is that with the rapid increases as this government has done over the last 4 years, that is a major concern. So this latest rise is kicking in at a time when many of these small businesses they are struggling to survive. They're struggling to keep their doors open. So this untimely wage increase, we see this is another slap on the face of struggling small businesses and Kiwis in general.
Right. So what government should have been planning in terms of this? Do you think government should have stopped, maybe waited for a few more months, waited for COVID to settle down and let business pick up and then do something like that?
Look, we are in middle of a pandemic, a global pandemic. So right now, we require some sensible decisions that could have been an urgency to drive economic recovery, putting control on big investments, government, the high spending that they're doing, or put a hold on, those wasted spending on low priority projects like the light rail or cycleway, bridge path, and all those ones. We actually required the government to introduce a stimulus package that supports the enterprise and businesses in order to create more employment and get those nearly 90,000 people who are unemployed currently on work rather than putting pressure on the treasury to keep on paying them the benefit. So this is going to be incredibly hard right now on many of the businesses. As you know, a number of businesses, they are shutting down, and tens of thousands of them are about to shut down. They're sitting on the edge. They're really struggling to keep their doors open without any targeted support from the government due to the ongoing lockdowns last year. And this is the reality of the mess, unfortunately, that this government has created. Uh, yeah, Navdeep, you see, this is not a rocket science.
Right.
The badly timed wage will only see New Zealanders going backward. And more workers are going to be lay off because the businesses are going under. They're going to shut down, going under. They are
Right.
really struggling with the mounting debts. So it will affect, I mean, each and every industry. I'm not just talking about one industry or two industry. This is going to be across the industry in New Zealand. So and all that cost, which is being increased by way of wage increases or anything, this would ultimately be passed on to the consumer by the businesses, and those consumers are already hit by, as you rightly said, the cost of living has gone too high, and the grocery, the rising rate of interest, and there's so many things. The petrols. When you're filling up your cars, it's hugely pinching. So what I see is that the government is increasing the minimum wage by 6% to meet the inflation, as you rightly said, 5.9%. So
Right.
this inflation was caused by the government,
Right.
right? And now this is going to cause more inflation as the price of goods and wages rise because of the cost of living is going high. So I do not see it's going to help anyone. It's basically going to take people back.
Right. So if we talk about inflation, what are you expected? How do you see the prices going up? The grocery, how much do you see they will grow up? People are anyways complaining about that they can't afford groceries now as they would afford say a year or 2 year back. So to what extent do you see the prices will go up?
Look, there was a recent example in Australia. So when Omicron hit Australia in the last 2 months, so there was a continuing signals coming from the retail sector and also the supply chain, how the prices were rising suddenly. So we had the lessons to learn, not to misadventure with the announcements like this to suddenly increase the wages and not doing much to put hold on the prices increases. There has been study on the how the supermarkets are doing, which is still pending. We had submitted on that one also how to break that monopoly and also the control on those ones. But those are the areas that the government should have done and taken on priority rather than making these I would say ideological announcements.
Right. Now the government has announced, and last year also it announced a wage increase. So do you think the government should still think about the announcement? And what have you given any feedback to the agencies about how you people who are in the industry feel about the announcement?
Yes. In fact, most of the industries and also our industry, we had given our feedback. Yesterday, only Hospitality NZ, they have given their feedback to the government, telling them how difficult this decision is going to result, and also what government should do. I mean, now since they have already announced this is going to start from 1st of April, now I think this is the best thing that government can do, at least to take some sensible decision to announce a targeted support to the affected businesses. That could be a rent subsidy, that could be the rates waive off, that could be other financial supports, including the wage subsidy. At the end of the day, just paying the employees would not keep the businesses on. I mean, there's a 30% of the economy in New Zealand is run by small businesses. They are contributing nearly 30% to the GDP. And also,
Mhm.
they employ nearly 29% of the workforce in New Zealand. So, if
Right.
those businesses are dying, if those businesses are closing down, you can imagine the workforce is going to be unemployed.
Right.
So, what comes first? You know, putting a horse before the cart does not work.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's what the government is thinking, to put a horse before the cart.
Right, right. I hope the government, the dairy owners who are part of the association, how have they taken up to this announcement? Are they are they don't know what will happen now? How they will survive now? Are they going to lay off people? What are their reactions?
The major feedback which is coming from number of businesses that I have been talking to is that number A is going to be lots of layoff of the employees, and two is also there's going to be the hours cut in the rosters. So ultimately, nobody wins here. And also the government should have at least consulted with the businesses or the business representatives or the business associations before taking any such step.
I think this government is known to hold the guns at a lot of times. They don't do. People are always complaining that before making any big announcement, they don't concern the relevant authorities or the associations who know the ground realities. So, do you
That's
believe
very
that?
that's very correct. The irony is, unfortunately, we have a government. You take the name of any um, um, the member of parliament in the what you call in the cabinet ministers, none of them have the real world, real life experience how the businesses work, and they have no idea how to make them work and how to work with the business sector, and also to stimulate the economy.
Right, right, right. And my last question before we leave would be, what would be your suggestion to this government now to help the business owners? What are the three things that you think they should be focusing on if they want the businesses owners to get back, the economy to boost? How do you think they should help the business, especially the small business owners?
Yeah, so number one, they need to offer or work out a stimulus package urgently. That's very important. That could be a targeted support, and also, as I said, the wage subsidy and the rent subsidy. Number two, the local councils, they need to offer the rates rebates to the local businesses. At the end of the day, if you look at last year when there were lockdowns, why we were paying rates to Auckland Council, what services Auckland Council was providing during lockdowns to the businesses. It was totally rip off, right? And then third is that government need to consult with the businesses or business bodies before taking any such decisions, and this is a priority right now.
Right, right. I completely agree. Thank you so much, Mr. Kaushal, for giving your valuable time, and hope we see a better, see how things go from here now.
Let's hope, fingers crossed, but it is definitely very hard times. And to your viewers, I would also like to request and encourage them to to support the local businesses. Doesn't matter, it's a nearby dairy or cafe or restaurant. Please go out and do help those struggling businesses. Each and every dollar would make a lot of life for them. At the same time, keep safe and look after yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
So that was Mr. Kaushal telling us the implication that the increase, that the proposed increase in wage would be. And he was telling the story that how business owners are not too happy about the announcement, and it might affect the inflation rate furthermore. For all that latest news, keep watching IndianWeekender.co.nz.